Member for Nelson Creston.
Madam Speaker, Saskatchewan just announced that they will be joining 8 other Canadian provinces and countless local governments with the legislated poverty reduction plan. Saskatchewan has the second lowest poverty rate in the country. For the last 13 years, BC has had the highest poverty rate in the country, yet this government stubbornly refuses to legislate a comprehensive poverty reduction plan with targets and timelines. This is something our representative for Children and Youth has called for, something British Columbians want across the province. So my question is to the Minister of Children and Family Development. Will she commit today to joining the rest of Canada with a real poverty reduction plan?
Minister of Children and Family Development.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. And the reality is that a real child poverty reduction plan is an economic development plan. And that's something we have at this side of the House. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, between 1990 and 2000, families living in poverty increased by 42%. However, since 2003, yes, because since 2003, remember, through the chair, child poverty in British Columbia has gone down by 41%. Madam Speaker, there are only 2 ways to address poverty. The first is to create jobs for parents so they can support their families, and the second is to provide targeted supports in a number of areas, Madam Speaker, to help people who are living on low incomes. We are doing both, Madam Speaker, and we will continue to do so.
Member for Nelson Creston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, for 13 years, this province has had the worst rate of overall poverty in the country. For 10 years, the worst rate of child poverty in the country. And this government's only response is get a job. Meanwhile, they cut the very programs needed, that people need to get the jobs. And we heard about it today with the English language learning programs. Or the health supports for those who can't get work. Those get cut by this government too. So will the minister step out of her ideology and step into reality and announce a poverty reduction plan for this province?
Minister for Children and Families.
Madam Speaker, the child poverty rate in British Columbia is higher than anyone would like it to be. There is no question. But it is at its second lowest point in 2 decades. Madam Speaker, across the country there are a variety of approaches taken. And having a legislated poverty plan as we have recently observed in Ontario, is no guarantee of success, Madam Speaker, because in fact their child poverty rate has increased. Madam Speaker, we believe that assisting families who are living in poverty through programs like child care subsidies, through over $3.5 billion invested in social housing programs, Madam Speaker, through increasing... Madam Speaker, I'm hearing from the members opposite that they don't care about social housing programs. Madam Speaker, I think that's atrocious because, Madam Speaker, the programs and services that this government has introduced over the last number of years have, Madam Speaker, lifted more than 69,000 children out of poverty in this province, Madam Speaker, and we're going to continue to keep working.